I'ma make a statement day by day. Y'all better come my way. Y'all better come my way. Okay, and say, y'all better come my way. I'ma make a statement day by day. Peace signs up. Put them in the air, ain't gon' rise up. Peace signs up.
Welcome to Jam-Packed. I am your host, Jamila, and I am super pumped about today's guest that we have today for y'all. She is the founder and the national president of the stud fraternity, Theta Pi Psi Fraternity, Inc., an LGBT fraternity committed to being a voice of change for the LGBT community and world as a collective whole. They are creating everlasting change with a bond like none other. And their mission is to bring together like-minded, dominant, and masculine of center women of all races and backgrounds to service, educate, and improve the LGBT and other communities. And their purpose is to change the stereotype within the LGBT community by invoking an everlasting commitment to service while creating a bond like none other, y'all. They in it. And yes, you heard me right. A stud fraternity, y'all. It is real and it is out here and I'm excited. And she is the founder of Touch My Heart CPR LLC, a concierge medical education service. And in addition to advanced cardiac life support, they do that as well as they provide pediatric life support, basic cardiac life support, pre-hospital trauma life support, basic arrhythmia, and critical care classes nationwide. Y'all, they are a mobile company. They will come to you in the comfort of your own home. Their objective is to help save lives through proper CPR education and training practices. Their vision statement is to always provide knowledge through affordable and easily accessible resources, classes, and tools through their services. They believe that having this knowledge can help all communities at large, and they need to perform CPR. They know that to perform CPR, it can happen anytime, anywhere, and it is so needed and crucial. And y'all, our guest has been a CPR BLS instructor for over 9 years. She is an American Heart Association certified CPR BLS instructor, if you really want to know the details. You may have seen her in the Voyage Dallas. She is a former officer of the city of Dallas. We had to be real cute about that title right there. She is ordained as an adjutant. And y'all, they are accepting applications for the Theta Pi Psi Fraternity, Inc. They're accepting your applications until April 4th, and it is international, y'all. There are no boundaries. So if you live in who knows where, you can still apply for this amazing stud fraternity. Y'all, she is a Rough Rider based out of Fort Worth for the Fort Worth Rough Riders. Again, if you want to get specific with it. Joining us from Dallas, Texas, y'all. Folks, I bring to y'all DeShun Greer. Woo!
Thank you. Little louder. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here.
This is awesome. You know, I was reading it and I was like, man, I don't even know if I'm butchering this fraternity name. You know, I'm so terrible with the Greek pronunciations and the phi, psi, this and that. And what is the proper pronunciation of the fraternity?
It's called Theta Pi Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So that ink is incorporated, just cut off.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I did say it right.
Yes, you did.
I got very nervous. I was like, listen, you don't get these fraternity names right. They will come for you.
Oh, yes. Yes, God.
They will come for you in these streets. It is crazy.
Windmill it for you.
Right? I'll be like, listen. I'm just trying to be like, listen, I'm good at boxing, but come on, man. I'm tired of bobbing and weaving.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is awesome, though, because, you know, folks don't know that there is a stud fraternity. And I saw that, I think, again, Clubhouse, I think, is where I found you. And then I just immediately went to your Instagram and I was like, what? A stud fraternity?
Absolutely.
Get at a Dodge. Like, I was like, that's so crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the initial reaction when you hear folks like ask about a stud fraternity? Like, what's the wildest? Man, I have so many questions. As you can see, I just have so many questions straight off the bat.
I would think the wildest thing I have ever heard was like, hold on, like stud what? Like stud muffin? Stud what? It was like, well, let me just say dominant and masculine females. They was like, so you mean to tell me? I was like, yeah, it is. It not only just my organization, it is other LGBT organizations that are out there. We have a whole page, whole community of Greek that are out there. So it's something that started way in 1985.
Yeah.
And people didn't know anything about. But I know when I first started my organization 9 years ago, I was like, I wanted something for people that was like-minded of myself. Even though I know it's Divine Nine organizations out there, and I love Divine Nine as myself, but I wanted to have that fulfillment. Not saying that they don't give me a fulfillment, but I wanted to have something because I'm not the prissy type, I'm not that like, I don't know if my voice can get that high,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I was like, hey, I gotta figure out something for our community, our people, and try to bring something different. And I've been embarking on this journey for 9 years, and I absolutely love it. It's a passion. It's my baby. Not only it's my baby, my members, it's their baby as well. So it's a family. It's more than a family. So yeah. It's wonderful.
What is it about like the fraternity Greek life that really kind of brought you in? Like for me, I grew up like, dang, I don't know if I would ever be in a fraternity or sorority, because for me, I just always felt like that's such a commitment. And B, I just felt like, and maybe it's almost like this, like what you see in the movies, and like you don't know much about fraternities until maybe you've actually been in one, or you've tried to be, what is it, there's like Greek week or something, like you initiate them into the whole situation. So you only hear so much about the Greek life, and that's why I'm really stoked that we're having this conversation, because like I feel like I personally have so many questions about the Greek life and the stigma of what comes along with that. And, but I feel like maybe a stud fraternity is something that would maybe appeal to a lot of folks that felt like they couldn't fit into your stereotypical fraternity or sorority, like you said. For you're like, I'm not the prissy type, and for me, I felt the same way. I was like, well, I'm not a girly girl like this.
Yeah.
I don't know how this gonna go.
Girly girls. I mean, hey, God bless you. They're just not my ministry, but I'm okay with it. But that's just never been me. I'm like, I used to throw away my dresses or throw away my skirts. I'm like, I don't know what happened. I was lying. I don't know what happened to
them. Yeah. I mean, I was always a tomboy from day one. Even when I would try to wear a dress or wear some heels, I have openly talked about how wearing heels just makes me want to go boo boo. Like it's just. It was never comfortable for me, like wearing heels or a dress. Like it just was never my steez, but
I could wear heels. I tried one time and my legs started going in like this. It looked like my legs looked like parentheses. I didn't know what was going on. No, this ain't for me. This ain't. So yeah, I couldn't do it. But yeah, it's crazy. No.
I love it. Before I get completely carried away, let me get some order of business out there out on the table. So your drink of choice. So you gave me a whole handful of drink of choices. So I don't even know what you've settled on. And I didn't even ask. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ask when we get to that portion, when we cross that bridge. So your options was between Arnold Palmer or what was it? DeSorno?
Yeah, DeSorno or orange juice. But with our bylaws, we cannot drink in our letters with our organization. So I got me some Arnold Palmer. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you guys can't
go drink in our letters. But some of the other organizations, they allow that. But as far as my organization, for a state of, no, we don't, respectfully, we just respect our letters within the organization. So we don't drink or smoke in our letters. And not to give or take that away from any other organization, but we just, it's kind of like honoring our letters. So yeah.
Okay. Listen, there are guidelines and I'm digging it already. There are standards that have to be met. So that's interesting. So if you're wearing the letters, so for y'all that are listening, go ahead and check us out on YouTube where you can see you are wearing your Greek letters on your shirt. So if you were wearing something completely different, then you could drink and smoke or do whatever you want. But because you're wearing it, it's you have to honor. Almost like if you're an officer, you have to honor the uniform, basically.
Absolutely.
Got you. Okay. All right. I get it. Because, you don't want to see a fireman drinking a beer or just cool and kicking it. In uniform, yeah, just, hey, you want to roll that blunt for me real quick?
That's totally different. If they're in a Halloween costume, that's something totally different.
Right. Listen, Halloween is the only acceptable time probably to see all the police officers smoking weed that aren't police officers.
Like, what?
My goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you went with that's very interesting. I love that. So I wasn't sure. And I took your orange juice and I raised it to a sangria because we still in the 11 o'clock brunch hour over here.
Oh, yeah. We're 1 o'clock here.
Yeah. So you ready for Turn Up City. You ready for Sunday Fun Day. So I got myself. So I got myself a little sangria mix right here. So cheers to you. Cheers. Yes. So I got some wine.
The push.
Yeah, right. So yes, I got some red wine and some orange juice in there. I don't know how I got on the email list. It might be through like the Black PR, Black journalist thing, but there was a promotion or whatever, and they sent me through CBS for that show Clarice. They sent me a bottle of wine. They're like, however many, the first however many people, if you sign up for whatever Zoom thing we doing, we'll send you a bottle. And so this has been the second time they sent me a bottle of something. So this one was for the promotion of Clarice. So shout out to CBS and Clarice.
Salute to y'all.
Yeah. Did you ever, have you ever seen that movie Hannibal?
Yes. And all the lights was on in my house after that. I started everything. I pray heaven down and up again,
Right. Clarice.
So now we watch everything. Because it got me like, like, I'm good, love.
I love it. Yeah, that's some scary shit, this Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. I like it. I had every license. God wanted to peel everything. I had all kind of weapons. I felt like it was a apocalypse going on. I didn't know what was going on, but I was ready.
I love it.
You know how you hear any type of noise, you woke. Ice machine start dropping ice. I'm like, what is going on?
I love it.
Wasn't ready.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, again, before I get completely carried away, today's game that we're going to play is privacy. So you said that you were down for any game. When privacy come out, you never know. You know that you never gonna know. So privacy is really a board game, but who really cares about a board game when you have amazing cards that have such questions as, have you ever given or gotten a lap dance? Listen, that is the tamest question I have ever read. But we
play the game right anyway. We don't play games right anyway, especially Uno. It get crucial behind Uno. We make up our own rules.
Dominoes gets real out here. Domino.
Oh yeah. You know it's talking.
Oh yeah.
Stay talking.
Yeah,
Even if you don't know
Right? Give me 10, I think.
Yeah.
Let me check again. Let me
by 5 plus 1.
Right? Give me the plus. Give me the plus.
Yes. Oh yeah. I talk noise. I'm still talking noise.
Okay, I love it. Listen, you in the right place then. I love it. I love it. Let's see. So we're gonna play that. I'll pick a card. You name a card, or you give me a number 1 through 4. I'll read the question. When it comes to my turn, I'm obviously not gonna look at the card. I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna like really look at it. I'm gonna be just as surprised as everybody else. So if neither one of us want to answer, we have to ask for our attorney, and then we would take a drink if you ask for your attorney. Now, if you answer these questions, I got to take a drink, and then vice versa.
Okay. I real loud.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's about to get real out here. But before we get to the shenanigans, I want to ask because the fraternity is very much so LGBT centered, masculine centered women. For you, what was your coming out story like, and how did that go? Because you are in Texas, you're in the South. That is it's no secret. It's a very conservative land in the land of Texas.
Everything big out here.
Right. That's what I hear. But what was your coming out story like, and how did that go with your family and friends and to where you are now?
Actually, well, down here we used to have this thing called the Hoop It Up in downtown Dallas. And it was like a 3-on-1 basketball tournament. And each time your team win, you go to the championship or they'll do an elimination game. And so I was in high school. I was a junior in high school. And I was always the tomboy type of thing. And so you know how they think, oh, it's a phase. I'm like, okay, it ain't gonna fade away. Mm-hmm. So she said, hey, where you going? I said, hey, I'm finna go to the Hoop It Up. She said, well, who I'm going? I was starting naming people. Then I slipped it on my girlfriends. So she was like, okay. She was like, hold on, your girlfriend? I was like, yeah. She was like, your girl? That's a friend? I was like, yeah. I mean, yeah. She was like, oh, no, you ain't going. I was like, excuse me? Look, I beg your pardon? And so like, you're not going. Go ahead and go to your room. I was like, no, I'm going to go ahead and go. I never talked back to my mom. Never. So she was like, my grandmother was sitting in the living room. And so I was like, well, why not? This is like my first time talking back because now I'm kind of defensive. I'm a Capricorn. I kind of got defensive. I was like, what do you mean? So she was like, go to your room. She was like, so you gay now? I was like, I've been that way. And so she was like, okay, well, you gonna be in your room. And I was like, well, I'm going to my game. We win the championship. My team need me. You know how important sports is to you. So I was like, I'm a diehard basketball player, football player. So she was like, no. And so she pushed me to go to my room. I was like, Mom, please don't push me. And so she was like, this is just me being transparent. And she was like, go to your room. I'm not going to tell you no more. And I was like, I'm telling you, I'm not going to my room. I'm going to the game. And so she was like, oh, so you smelling yourself? And my crazy self, like, nah, I just got out the shower. I was like, I just got out the shower. I'm crazy. And so she was, I tried to go towards the door and she grabbed me and pushed me again. I was like, Mom, please stop pushing me. And I was like, don't push me no more. And so she swung at me and I weaved from it. And I just like grabbed her. And once I grabbed her, we kind of like fell when we grabbed her. And she like hit me in the mouth and she like busted my lip. And so I was like, yo, this is bad crazy. My mom and my grandmother was like, y'all stop. I listened to whatever my grandmother said. I just listened to her, God rest her soul. And I just went to my room. We stayed on the first floor. So I went to my room, locked my door, left, pushed the window up, jumped out the window, went to the basketball tournament. So back then, had that old Nokia phone that got the snake on it. Your phones last hours without charging, 48 hours. So that was blowing my phone up. And at that time, I called my girlfriend, let her know what happened. And so my girlfriend's mother calls my mother on the phone. And she was like, hey, this is pretty much her mom. And so my mom went ham. She, don't call my so-and-so phone no more. Da-da-this, da-da-that. I was like, oh my God. So I ended up leaving and taking a train to my girlfriend's house, which was about a two-hour train ride. And I stayed there for the weekend. Monday, my dad's grandmother came and picked me up from school. She said, go to your room, don't say anything. Everything is fine. So I go home. My mother was sitting in the living room. I go straight to the room. We didn't say anything. The next day I go to school, come back home. She was sitting in the living room. I said, Ma, I sat on the couch. I said, look, I love you. I do apologize for being disrespectful. I guarantee it won't never happen again. I was wrong. I said, but I did get defensive, and I can be honest with you and say that. I said, but as the age that I am now, either two things. And I gave my mom the option. I was like, damn, I was bold. I was like, look, you can love me up close or you can love me from a distance. Make that choice. Let me know. And if you want to love me from a distance because of who I choose to love, and as a mother, I feel like you're supposed to love me regardless. And so she said, I don't have to make a choice. She said, my choice is I want to love you up close. And ever since then, we've been cool, fine, and it's like my 8-spoon cool. So
wow, nice.
And my daddy was like, oh hell yeah. he was with the shenanigans. His wife was sending me Bible scriptures, and I'm like, okay, I'm in church, so I started sending her Bible scriptures, like different. So we going back and forth, and now we're here, me and her. So we even go Bible scripture verse to verse with each other. I'm like, we can do this all day. So after that, we was good, and everybody, it's kind of like everyone loved me. So I'm like, yeah. So it was cool being able for them to embrace me after the fact that I just wanted that approval from my mother. And once I got that approval from her, even though I felt like I didn't need no approval, but I wanted that approval from her because that's my mother. And my grandmother decided to love me regardless. She was like, look, if you got to stay with me, stay with me. So that was my coming out story. So I ended up getting my lip busted, but she was like, look, I brought you in, I can take you out. I was like, hey, that's premeditated murder, you know?
Right. You telling me that you gonna murder my ass because
So, but other than that, everything is cool. We talk every day. It's like, if she don't hear from me, she be like, you got all 10 of your fingers? Yes, ma'am. Why you ain't call me? Why you ain't text me? You're right, I apologize. So, yeah, we got the wonderful relationship. It's so wonderful. It's so yummy, you know?
Yeah. How is it with her when you like are in a relationship, when you bring your partner around? Do you feel like the energy is kind of different, or that is she kind of like protective mama bear, or?
She is protective, and she'll let them know. She was like, but I date, if I'm with someone, if I bring them around, they have to be special. So she has met my lady that I'm with now, and she like absolutely loves her. And she even called her more than she called me. They side up on me. I'm like, wait a minute. She was like, you know, I talked to your mom, bro. I was like, you know, you ain't called her, right? You need to call her. So, but my mom is one of those. That's the domino player right there. It's like she can kick anybody, but I'm her hype person on the side. But she's cool with it. It's very rare that I will bring someone to my family because my family is so lovable. Even if we ain't together, they can come over. She can be like, I'm going on your right half. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
My mom she's very cool with it. That she accepted. And she even went to the gay club with me before.
Yeah.
And she was like, this is different. But she had fun. I said, you sweating. She said, I'm working. I said, you better work out, girl. Work out. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. Gay clubs are the best clubs to ever go to in life. Like I always, it should have been the first inkling that like straight clubs were just not for me. When I just felt so uncomfortable going to a straight club, and then I go to a gay club, I'm like, yes, my people. You
Go
know,
to a
it could,
straight girl, they pat you down like you do. I'm like, I'm a whole female out here. You see these boobs? I ain't got that much, but it's something now. They
right.
like, yeah.
Right. I gotta like boss up a little extra hard just so you know, like
Push the
not gonna
things
shake
up.
me. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's crazy.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
for you, like creating Theta Pi Psi Fraternity Incorporated, what was the moment for you of what inspired you to create that specific incorporated? Was there a specific moment? Because I know we kind of talked about how we just kind of didn't fit in with these more feminine, presenting sororities, fraternities, all that good stuff. But for you, what was the moment for you, the deciding factor to say, you know what, we're going to break the stigma, we're going to create this, and we're going to have a brotherhood, sisterhood, studhood of what we're doing?
Well, I actually thought about it way long time ago because it's no blueprint on how to be dominant or masculine. There's no OGs that's around, especially when I was younger, because I didn't know. It was certain things that I didn't know. I didn't know that even some people that are older now, I didn't know that you're not supposed to wear suspenders with a belt. Both of them do the same thing. Pick one. I didn't know that you got to have a certain hanger for your coat or chivalry, open up the door for your lady, do different things. I didn't know that. I didn't know, hey, pull your pants up. I just went by what I see everybody else do. And I'm like, you know what? I had a lot of people that come to me that are younger that say, hey, I look up to you. I see that you're doing a lot in the community. And what can I do to help? What can I do to be just like you? I was like, no, you can be just like yourself. But I was saying, what can I create that's going to give people that's like-minded of myself, no matter their age, background, race, it doesn't matter, for them to feel comfortable in their own skin. Because that's the first thing you have to do is feel comfortable in your own skin. And even if I did go Divine Nine, I know what organization I would pledge, but I still would have to have something that say, this represents me. Mm-hmm. I don't have to change who I am. I don't have to change how I dress. I don't have to wear certain things just because that's what they look for. But this is for people to be able to come as you are. It doesn't matter if you're a soft stud. It doesn't matter if you're a jargonist, however that you want to be. Just come as you are. Kind of like just come as you are, but really come as you are. So I just wanted to create something for people that's like-minded of myself to feel comfortable in their own skin and can say that, hey, I never thought of that, or I never thought I could be a part of something like that. Is just say, hey, this is something that'll be able to help you. We teach you how to do resumes. We teach on credit. I even teach CPR when it comes to it. We teach little different things that we feel as if masculine offenders should be able to know whether, okay, do you feel comfortable? Because some people don't know when it comes to the cycle time. Some don't even do checkups. Say, hey, you still have to get these different things in, or they feel as if they don't know, hey, if you go to get ends up, make sure it's done like this. You want to get a haircut, make sure you get it nice or whatever. Or even interview, they don't know. So it's kind of like giving them some type of guideline when we didn't have. So we got to be able to create that change for them and say, hey, or be the blueprint or some kind of structure for us, because what a lot of us are out there like, and so just to have that for them and say, you don't have to change who you are, be who you are, but we're going to enhance who you are.
Absolutely. Well, and for folks that are listening, you accept folks at any point in their life. You don't necessarily have to be in college, because I feel like it's, folks think of fraternity, sorority, that you have to like be connected to a school or some kind of establishment.
No, it's about college.
So for folks listening, if this is something that you're interested in, reach out and and all the information will be in the show notes, as far as where to sign up and all that good stuff. But, you're accepting folks and they don't have to be in college. You could be anywhere in your life. You could be 50, 60, right? And you accept anybody and everybody, as long as that's something that they're willing to commit to, right?
Absolutely, because we look at it, we when I talk to the organization, we have meetings after meetings after meetings. And when I talk to them, I tell them, I ask them, what do they feel like is most important? They tell me, because not only I evaluate them, I let them evaluate me as well. Because in order to lead, I got to be able to follow also. But I tell each one of my members, you all are leaders. That's just number one. Hold your head up, because you're all leaders at the end of the day. But a lot of them say, I asked them what's something that they struggle with. And they say, a lot of people say, well, communication is the key to them. But I kind of beg a difference when a lot of people say communication is the key. I say comprehension is the key. Because if you hear what I'm saying, whether I communicate, blah, 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 if you don't comprehend it, then it's a difference. So we know little things like that. So the oldest member I have had was 51. And reside in the St. Louis area. So we accept ages 21 and up, but we have a mentor program for 17 and up, 17 through 20, before they turn 21.
And what is the commitment that you ask of folks that are thinking of signing up? What is the commitment requirement for them of how to, I guess, continue or sustain their membership? Because to be a member, you still have to do all the commitments, right?
Right. We do have meetings. They have to be attended to at least one of the meetings out of the 2 meetings that we have. But we also utilize the communication. We also, you have to be a registered voter. We have community service. Typically, we do 60 hours of community service a year. But typically, a lot of our frats go over. They do at least 100 hours. They like to be overachievers. I'm like, do it. Because we're a very community service-based organization. We have adopted streets, different things like that in different cities and states. So that's one thing. Not only that, if you're not working, that you at least have to be able to attend school, because we want to be able to push you to enhance your life, not be at a standstill. So those are pretty much the main requirements outside of their dues that are due for the organization. Towards the website when we travel, different things, so that could be less money that they would have to pay for when going out of town, because we travel.
Yeah, absolutely.
We travel.
Nice. Thinking of a stud fraternity, it always reminds me of the documentary, The Same Difference. Have you ever seen that documentary before?
Not yet, but I will be watching. Is it on Netflix?
I don't think it's on Netflix, but I think if you Google it, I think it's on a website somewhere. If you Google The Same Difference documentary.
Okay.
But I know they were doing different screenings years ago. But I love the documentary because it talks about the different types of labels that are in the community for Black women, or from being a femme to an AG to a stud to androgynous, to all these different labels. Right. And so I really love that documentary just because it always talks about those things, and they talk about stud and stud relationships. They talk about so they talk about all of that and all of these stigmas that go on in the community, in the Black LGBT Q community portion of it, and then they also compare it to the white LGBT folks and how they don't really have those labels. White folks don't really have those labels, but folks of color, we have
items.
Right, we have stud. We got baby stud. You gonna be a hard stud. You gonna be a butch. You gonna be this. You gonna be that. So it's all of these different things, right? So it gets into all of that. I really, really, really love that documentary.
Thank you for recommending it.
Absolutely. Because I almost would be interested to know what your fraternity thinks of that documentary, if you guys did a screening or however you guys worked that out. But it was such a well done documentary because it really brought a lot of things to light. And what other folks go through, and how it is very rare that you see a stud and stud relationship. It's usually always a stud and a femme, or so it's always this balance.
Rather, even if they're stud for stud, we just have no fraternizer in our organization. Cause you can't date your frat, bro. Now, if they no longer in the organization, then that's something different. We don't discriminate when it comes to that. If you're stud for stud, that's your thing. We're not gonna discriminate. We got enough discrimination as it is. So we just ask that it's no fraternizing when it comes to that. Other than that, if you stud for stud, okay.
Oh, okay. So you can't fraternize with your fellow. Interesting.
Ooh.
Interesting. That's very interesting. And why is that? Is it more of because to prevent any kind of drama, or is it something else? Because I don't know if that's a thing like in a regular sorority or fraternity, but I don't know these things. So, but that was a very interesting thing we just stumbled across.
It just depends on the organization or what rules and regulations that they have, bylaws or constitutions that they have. But it also keeps down confusion. It also keeps down drama, as you stated previously. It keeps down a lot of that. Even because when some people run for office, different things like that, they tend to vote for their partner, or they feel as if they can get away with a lot because they partner. We like, no. So we're gonna nip this in the bud now, because I'm friends with a lot of founders from other organizations, and we talk a lot, and that's the number one thing that they have, and they say, yo, it's a pain in the butt. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and nip that in the bud now. So that was already something that was written aside before everything even started. So yeah.
Ah, okay. So you've spoken to other LGBTQ organizations, fraternity, sorority type of, and they've said that they've had issues with members wanting to. Oh
yeah. It's definitely a lot. Don't get me wrong. You have your typical stuff that goes on, but everybody think that, oh, it's just about partying, having sex, all of this. No, it's really not. Now, some organization, they might have that. Some organization, they like totally different. We believe in doing everything in excellence and decency and order, but we still have our fun to do and go out and party and talk to everybody else and go out and mingle with everybody else, because they might have events. So it's just about being supportive. And so that's do.
Have you ever had to kick anybody? I'm like so intrigued. Like I'm like extra intrigued. Have you ever had to kick anybody out because of fraternizing, or, you know, they had a crush on another?
I never had anybody to fraternize, but I have kicked several people out. Yes.
Wow. Like, what are some things that somebody can get kicked out for? Like
smoking at their letters, or social media with like marijuana, or because in Texas, or we have a standard for excellence at all times, or being just very blatantly disrespectful to not only just the organization but to themselves, and or if they don't meet the rules and the regulations that they go by, that they have signed, because we have confidentiality clause that they sign and everything. And so anything go outside of that, then they'll get fined and or to leave, or take the necessary steps that we have put in place. And so we have to make sure that not only Theta it's a brand as well. So we have to be able to make sure that we protect the brand also. And so
okay.
I tell the organization, the work starts when you cross. That's where the work really starts. Yeah. And so everybody is hands-on, and we don't like to leave no frat behind. So yeah.
Nice. What do you think some of the biggest stigmas are when it comes to studs and women, masculine-centered women?
I think some of the stereotype is that they feel as if it's a competition, as if, or I would say hated, but a lot of people would say hated because they probably feel as if they're better, or because they dressed a certain type of way, or because they might not agree with what that person is doing. So I would say more is more of a competition more than anything. And I'm like, we're all this one. And so when anybody asks, even with my organization, how many members do y'all have? Everybody replies one. Even though we have more than that, they were like, well, why y'all say one? Because we're as one. And so that's why we say one. But I would say it's more people feel as if it's a competition or the upper hand on someone. So yeah. And I let them know it's not a competition. And everybody coming to the organization, they know that as well. So absolutely.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's awesome to talk about these things so that, you guys are also rectifying these issues within, the fraternity.
Absolutely. We have this thing in our organization called No Friend Left Behind. So we always have an open discussion, and we call it How Do You Feel? And if it's something that you're feeling, or it's kind of an open discussion, say, hey, lately I've been feeling this way. Hey, I need someone to pray for me or pray with me. And we'll partner that person up. We have, even when you go outside the organization, we always partner someone up. It's kind of like a mentor and say, hey, y'all responsible for each other, but we are responsible for one another. So if they jack up, you jack up. We all jack up. Because they're not going to just say, oh, it's DeShun. They're going to say Theta. And so it's all about protecting the brand. And we have to just continue to be there for one another as we always have, we always will.
Nice. What do you think some other stigmas are for studs, whether it be within the community or outside of the community, when they are, when they see thetas out and about? What do you think the stigma is? Because by going and moving together as one, you're breaking that stereotype. Mm-hmm. But I'm interested in what do y'all consistently see as a problem when you move together from outside sources, whether it be in LGBT or in straight land, we'll say?
Typically, they be like, who are y'all? What y'all do? Oh, y'all what? And the first thing they'll go and do is look it up. Or, hey, can y'all step for us? Can y'all store for us? Like, ain't no puppet. But typically, they was like, oh, okay, well, I only know about Divine Nine. I'm like, okay, well, so like, you got to do your research, sweetheart. But typically what we see, a lot of times a lot of people want to know who we are. Or because when we go out, we're pretty much dressed alike. We have a dress coordinator that does all that. Hey, when we fly out, everybody in polos, in khakis, black shoes, black polos, or if we go into a probate, which is another Greek event, hey, we wear bow ties, purple shirts, black vest, black pants, black belt. So we have people that's in place that give us what we're wearing, and a lot of times they're like, dang, okay, that's different. Where y'all going? So
yeah,
it's really a bad thing. It's just a lot of people trying to figure out who we are or what is it that we do. And so it's kind of like they're intrigued by it. They're like, oh, I didn't know that. And so it's kind of aware of being more knowledgeable than anything. So yeah.
Okay. Before we start this game, I don't know, you were talking about a Greek event, and then it just like made me want to ask, is there like a stomp or a dance that y'all do?
Yes, we have our official stroll. We have our official call. We have.
Are you allowed to do it? I don't know if, like, I feel like some of the stuff is like super.
It's
sacred.
kind of.
Are you allowed to do it on JAMPACKED?
Not everything is sacred, but some things are sacred. But we do have call. We have a short call and we have a long call. It just really depends on what setting that we are. If it's just to do a check with Theta, and so we're like around a large amount of people. Some might be over there, and some might be over here. And then I just do our call. It's typically Theta Pi, and everybody's like, you know. And so, or we'll be like THETA, and then everybody will like THETA, and then everybody come in Theta Pi, you know. And so it's kind of like a check that we find to get ready to go, or we rally it up and it's time to go. So it's kind of like a check for everybody, so everybody can be able to hear that. They were like, oh, okay, and we finna get ready to head out. And so that's when everybody start rallying up. So we have different little secret things that we have in the organization that other people would know what we're talking about. But we know what we're talking about. If it's an emergency, we send out a number or a letter. Everybody know, hey, something that's going on here. Let's get there. So we have the codes that we utilize and go from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I was like pumped up as soon as you said it. Like for sororities and fraternities, like folks get very offended when you echo their call, right?
Like
is it the same for y'all? Like if someone's like says the same thing and they're not a part of it, is it like an issue?
Yeah. They like, what you doing?
Yeah.
Like, nah, you probably about to get whooped.
Yeah.
If we're strolling or anything like that, and you try to cut between the line or cut in front of us, typically they're gonna push you out the way and make you go all the way around. So because it's like a form of disrespect. To call it or to cut between someone line while they're strolling. So yeah.
So you go ahead and pick a number 1 through 4. We're gonna play some privacy. We're gonna number 1, of course, moving as 1.
And plus I'm an ace, so
Okay. Okay. So this is your question. Would you tell anyone if you had a colostomy bag?
Absolutely.
That was a terrible question, privacy.
Ordered everything. Show it off. You like this, girl? You like this? I'll be modeling and everything.
Want to see my colostomy bag?
Right. So,
Nice. All right. My turn. I pick number 2. I like even numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. It says, have you ever tried meth? Hell to the no. I know. People are like, you sure? Because you really act a little left, Jamila.
Just got a natural high. That's all.
I'm just naturally weird and goofy. That's all it is. I promise. It's not even a saying. What's that?
I said weirdness is the best, though. I'm weird too. I'm cool with it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been told I'm very weird, and I've just accepted it and moved forward. Some folks. Some folks it's for some folks, and some folks it's just not. So I promise y'all, never done meth a day in my life. Learned a lot about meth, but I've never done it. Did you know that a lot of folks in I'll say this. There have been homeless folks that use meth to stay warm and to suppress their appetite. Boom. I learned that. I've never done meth, but I like to learn shit I don't know anything about. So this is...
I would have never thought of that.
See? There you go.
Good on it. I just told it.
Just put that under more fun facts that you never know when you go need it, and just
I'm good.
All right, what number are you picking today?
3.
Okay, number 3. Would you have sex with your significant other if they had advanced eczema around their genitals?
We would go to the doctor. You know what? If anything, I would probably strap up, but I ain't going down there. And I'll put a condom on it.
All right, I'm drinking. I got you. Listen, I didn't know if we were gonna turn left. I didn't know. I didn't know if you're gonna ask for your attorney.
Yeah,
I'm over here.
To 4th, the 3rd.
I make you sweat with some fraternity sorority talk, but you gonna talk about eczema on genitals easy. I love it. I'll pick number 4. Have you ever dated more than one person at a time? Have I ever dated more than one person?
Uh-oh.
I don't think I'm gonna say this. I don't think that I have, because I feel like that's a very overwhelming concept.
Date?
I don't think, but for the sake of this game, I will say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I will say yes, but honestly, that seems like such an exhausting task that like dating one person is a lot, but I take my dating seriously. Now, if we just
Right.
hooking up, it's just a situationship. Now, if they said, have you had sex or situationships with more than one person throughout that time, then I feel like that would be an easy yes. Yes, I've talked to, but dating is like it's like pre-relationship. I don't know. Like, I'm like,
Absolutely.
what if it work out with you and then it work out with them and then like, damn, now I'm dating like two people at the same time and we like in a like now we getting serious on both ends.
It is taking me.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's draining to even just think about it. I'm like,
yeah.
It might depend on what side they are. You might be dating multiple persons if people if you date one.
Ooh, buddy. Yeah, that's true. That's facts.
I'm good.
That's facts. And I was about to go into a whole other, that's a very true, accurate point because you never know. And I feel like masculine centered women tend to, like we said, be more attracted to maybe femmes or the invisible femme or whatever you want to call them. And they might still be dealing with dudes.
You're right. I don't have anything against a bisexual female. It's just like me, I can't personally just, even if we're having sex, I'm like, think about, did she just probably just have sex with a dude? So it's kind of like, I just gave him some head too. I'm like, oh, this is...
Right?
Good love. Look.
Right?
So...
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But I mean,
feel like...
respect them, but it's just my forte. I'm good.
I feel like masculine-centered women tend to be more attracted or open to straight women. I don't know if it's something that we just are programmed to be like, yo, this one, she a baddie, like this, I'm gonna be the one to change her life, to change her world, and still dealing with dudes.
Nah, if anything, how I date, if I like my significant other now, how I look at things, I used to be how a person look. And don't get me wrong, my significant other is so beautiful to me. But not only that, but you got to be good for my soul as well. So a lot of people pick people that look good for them, but are they good for your soul? And so by her being both, it was just a win-win for me because she even prayed for me even when I can't pray for myself. And that was just an amazing thing for me. Even if I'm asleep, she'll turn around and pray for me. And I'm like, wow. I played sleep that she did it, but I was like, I like it. They just warmed my little heart.
Okay. I mean, okay. All right. I'm just gonna stick to the game. I feel like my questions be getting me in trouble out here. Your turn to pick a number.
4. Go with 4. Oh gosh.
4? Oh shit. Do you have birth control in your purse or wallet right now?
No.
Right, hold on. Let me pull it out of my wallet. Oh, there it is.
Only thing that's in there is probably steroids for this asthma that I have. That's about it. I'm like, other than that, I'm good. Ain't nothing else in there. So, and I wear that. You know how you have your wallet be too thick for you put it in your back pocket? Now that side cheek be hurting. So I'm like, man, I'm good on that, but no,
just
absolutely.
All uneven, just got a little pill,
Now, I put it in my lady purse. She's like, you put everything in my purse. I bought purse. Everything. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, let's see. I'll pick number 1. Let's do that. Let's see. Would you pose naked for a magazine for $10,000? Yeah, I probably would.
This guy, more than ever be because all
Right.
this great that I got, I'm just saying.
I gotta make sure I work out really hard, but yeah, for 10 G's.
I'm just
Shit.
kangaroo patch down here. That's just stuff. So a little bit more for all this. They want to see this goodness.
Right.
So,
You're
yeah,
right.
for
If
real.
you want to see it for 10 G's, I mean, catch me on a good day. Yeah.
Got to talk about with Bay. Drink a lot of like close up. Let's do this. Oh yeah.
Okay, your turn. I got a card here.
Let's go with 2.
Damn, you just get some interesting questions. Have you ever worn nipple or genital jewelry?
Yes. Yes. Actually, as an officer, I used to play contact football, and I had my nipples pierced, and get hit in the chest. It hurts. Oh, it hurts. It hurt. I just took them out.
Oh shit! So you had your nipples pierced?
Yeah, and down there, and that hurt it.
Wait, and down there?
Yeah, that hurt it. That hurt it. But back then we used to do crazy stuff. And my friend was like, "Yeah, let's just go do this." I was like, "Let's go do it." I got there. I was sweating bullets. Like, okay, let's talk about this. I started asking the person, "How you doing today? How's your credit? Your mama good? Everything." I was nervous. But even as playing football, it would hurt too much, so I just took them out. So yeah.
Dang. Woo. I saw somebody get it pierced one time in life, and I was like, I'm okay. It was already a very nerve-wracking concept to the idea of getting your genitals pierced, but I don't know. I was young. I think we were drunk. Somebody wanted to get their thing pierced, and I was just like,
That might happen.
Yeah, you do some wild shit when you're younger. I'm here. I just want to watch. I don't want any part in this. I'm not even getting remotely turned on by this. We just drunk. I'm just here to watch you get your shit pierced.
I like the
right. Exactly. Both hands just. Does it hurt now? Can you feel it?
Yeah. Give me the help. I got you. So yeah.
Right. Oh man. Let's see. My bad. Okay, let's see. Pick another. I'll do 3. Do you think the person to your right leaves hair clogged on top of the drain for more than a week?
What?
No.
Ain't nobody.
Oh goodness.
If they do, then that's a whole different story.
Right. Right. I told you this game wild. This game is hella wild. Okay. Let's see. We'll do one more round, and then I've got some non-problematic questions for you.
I go with 2.
2. Have you ever relived yourself on a frenemies belongings? What? Have you ever? Oh, ha! Can't drink or can't read. Wow. Clearly the sangria's hit me already. Have you ever relieved yourself on a frenemies belongings?
No. No. Not at all.
Oh man. Let's see. I'll do 4. Have you ever dined and dashed? No. No, that's not. That's not. Did you?
It was in our fight. I was at the Waffle House. I was like, oh. Then I just put the money down on the table. Like, I'm going, y'all crazy.
Oh my God. The Waffle House, a lot of shit pops off at the Waffle House.
Goes down at the Waffle House, especially after you come from a club, it goes down. It goes down.
Were you in Atlanta the same time I was? Because I went to Waffle House and some shit popped off. It was Atlanta It was Black Pride
Right.
in Atlanta. And shit was just real ignorant. Just
It don't matter what Waffle House you go to, it goes down. Because it's just going down.
why? Why? Like that shit. I have video from that night, and that shit was wild. I like the cook hopped over our table, hopped over the thing onto our table to go get somebody's ass that was talking shit. It was a whole lot. Salt or sugar. The sugar glass thing broke on the ground. Like it was a whole thing. I was like, what is going on?
Pork chops back there. I'm telling you.
They were talking so much shit. And I was like, yo, why are you getting so hype right now at the Waffle House? This is supposed to be a place of dining and relaxing and talking about the crazy night, not like to have some more shit go off.
Wow. Nah, they always go off at the house. That's just what it is. What a good time, go to the Waffle House. There it is.
You will never be disappointed if you go to the Waffle House.
Never. I promise you. I promise you.
That shit is nuts. But, you know, you're also, along with being a founder and the president of the fraternity, you also are certified on all levels for CPR. But there was actually a reason for you of why you decided to get into CPR, the world of CPR. You had a life-changing moment where you didn't know what to do. You were terrified. You panicked. You were emotional. You felt helpless. And after your encounter, you vowed to become knowledgeable about CPR. And now you've been trained for over 9 years. What was that moment that happened that said, you know, I need to change this and I need to educate myself and also educate the community?
The moment that I had to properly perform CPR and I didn't know what to do, I was very jitterish and I had to do it on someone that I love. Not only that same day I had to turn around and do it on an infant. And I was freaked out because it was something totally different that you have to do from an adult than an infant. An infant is totally different. And I said, you know what? I got to make myself more knowledgeable because no one around me knew how to do CPR. No one. And I just called 911 and they prompted me through each and every way. And I said, this will never, ever happen again. I will make myself more knowledgeable about it and let everybody else know how to properly perform CPR. Because like we said, it can happen at a given moment, at a given time. So, yes.
Yeah. Now, why do you think it is in the community? Because I know that for y'all, you're mobile, you make it affordable, you make it accessible for all folks. And there's this need. It's so important to know CPR. What do you find is the biggest misconception of knowing CPR, or maybe the idea that folks in the community don't need to know it? Like, I feel like some folks really kind of undervalue the fact that they need to know CPR, and it's so important and it's so crucial.
A lot of people don't really take it until it take heed to them or till they come across it. And I'd rather you to have the skills and not use it than don't have the skills and need to utilize it. And so a lot of people underestimate what CPR can do. And it has the opportunity to save a lot of people's lives, even when it comes to children, when it comes to the youth. That's why a portion of my proceeds, I teach the youth on how to properly perform CPR for free. And I do that because they might have to save their parents. They're the next generation. So it is imperative that they learn this because it is a skill that they can use even at work. You can be able to put it on a resume, all of the above. Even some jobs are requiring it. So it is something that is very crucial that a lot of people don't understand how crucial it is until it happens to them. And when it hit home, it's like, it's too late. You need to know this or be at least knowledgeable, have some kind of skills, or to know what's what or how to perform.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're mobile. Do you see yourself kind of branching outside of Texas, or kind of what's the next expansion of the CPR company that you've created, and to get that and make that accessible to folks all over?
Actually, I have traveled. I've been to Denver, Las Vegas, Miami. I have traveled all over. If they fly me out there, my equipment and everything, I would definitely get it done. So it doesn't matter if it's Dubai, Kuwait, wherever it's at. If I have to get there, get me out there, we're going to get it taken care of. Now I'm doing it online, Zoom classes online as well for even some of my elderly people. It doesn't matter. People that are even in wheelchairs, that are wheelchair bound, they're still able to do CPR. Even if a little kid can do it, anybody else can be able to do it also. So yeah, I travel not only in Texas, I travel outside of Texas as well.
Absolutely. And yours, and when folks take your class, they become certified that same day, correct?
Yes. Once the class is done, they go through their skill training. Once I teach them everything, then they become instantly certified. I send everything over to American Heart Association, and they email me their cards, and I email it to them. So yeah. So they have to be able to surrender aid if aid is needed. Only in Vermont, they do not have to perform CPR, but anywhere else in the city, in the state, you have to perform CPR if you are CPR certified, or your license can be taken away from you. So yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's fantastic that folks can get certified that day after they do, complete, the training and the test and all of that.
Yeah.
And that you're able to send it to the American Heart Association, and you're like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, that's so dope.
Yeah.
And you're also affiliated through the church. You're ordained. How is that for you, being the president, the founder of an LGBT fraternity? How is that, being a founder of a fraternity and also being a part of the church, being that the fraternity is an LGBT organization?
Well, the cool thing about it, the church that I attend is an affirming church. An affirming church is anyone is welcome. LGBT. My apostle, her name is LaShawn McIntosh at Fresh Wind Restoration Center. She is an affirming apostle. So, and along with the side of that, she's my best friend. And it's an affirming church, so we have people from all walks of life that is there. So I'm actually her adjutant. So wherever you see her, you see me. So yeah, so it's pretty cool because everybody's family there. So yeah,
That's awesome. That's
the
awesome.
LGBT.
Because that's awesome that they're so embracing and so loving, because for folks that grow up in the church and they come out, then it's like this whole thing. But you didn't really, you didn't experience that much, did you?
No, I really didn't experience that much. I actually went to a church before that, but I used to be the drummer there, so it was different for me. So yeah, but other than that, he accepted me for who I am. So that was cool.
That's awesome. And for folks that are listening, and obviously they've taken like the first step of, they're listening to a very gay podcast. But secondly,
Yeah.
if they want to maybe be more loving or more embracing or an ally or anything like that, what are some words that you can give them to be more involved in helping maybe their LGBTQ person in their life, of how to be a better ally or support system, especially, with religion being thrown into the mix of why they would be reluctant to support?
Be who you are. I promise you, be who you are. And the way that I go about things, and somebody's always watching. Someone is always listening. Someone is going to always talk. So if they're going to talk, let them talk about something that's positive. Be who you are. Stand up. You gotta rise up. At the end of the day, you're a king's kid, so you gotta hold your head up high and know that you are a king's kid. I'm talking about if you gotta stick your chest out, hold your head up, whatever case may be. But I need you to know who you are and that you are somebody. You're here for a purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, if you don't know your purpose is whatever you can do that you love to do, whether you get paid for it or not. That is your purpose. Execute it. It's a lot of people that are in the grade that have ideas that were supposed to be on this earth. But while you're here, do something with it. So once you leave, they can know, the world will know that you're here. Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
I love
Thank
that.
you.
I love that. Yeah. Man, I've had such a good time. You want to play another round of privacy?
We can. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. We got a little bit of time. Let's see. All right, pick a number.
Oh boy. 17. No, I'm joking.
I know, right?
Let's do it. I'll go with 1.
Okay. Do you think anal sex is better than sliced bread?
Well, I never.
DeShun's face changed.
Privacy is very respectful, ain't it? Bread for 500, Alex.
You're right, exactly.
Yeah.
I just had to do one more, didn't I? You were like, I was over privacy to begin with.
Think of it. Throw the whole game.
Throw the whole game away. She's asked for her attorney. We finally got her to answer with an attorney. Oh, privacy.
I plead the third.
Yes, drink up. Finally,
there was. I said bread, raisin bread.
Oh,
I said
right.
Raisin bread. I is it $500, Alex? I don't know about that.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. I'll drink. Ooh, if there was a day that made you uneasy, today was the day.
Listen. Cool with it. I will rise up to the challenge.
I love it. You competitor. Your competitive spirit is not gonna let you plead the fifth out here.
Oh,
I love it. All right, I'll pick 4. I like the number 4. Let's see.
Okay.
Have you ever cyber stalked someone? Hell yeah. Right? Like, what you doing?
Yeah. Right.
You know, I feel like sometimes you sometimes low-key have to check what people doing in the cyber world to understand who they are, if that's a relationship like you that you trying to get into, you know?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't know. For me, I like to know what I'm getting into. Have you ever Googled anybody or like?
Yeah. I need to know your background, all of that. I need to know if your mama's still your. I need to know this stuff.
Okay, so I'm not the only one cyber stalking out here.
You don't have to find out unless I know you for a while that I already know. But like, I don't know about that. Nah.
Exactly. No, I love that. Before we get out of here, even though you gave us some beautiful words before we went back to playing some privacy, we usually end on words of wisdom. What would be some words of wisdom that you would give to anybody and everybody listening right now? What are some words of wisdom that you would leave them with today?
Awesome. Thank you again. As my apostle used to say, LeSean McIntyre always say, live in a she have this series called Pi. That's PIE. Live a purposeful, intentional, and extraordinary life. So no matter what, be purposeful about everything you did. Be intentional and extraordinary, no matter what you do. So I always remember, you are somebody. If don't nobody love you, I love you. So does God. And so that was some of my encouraging words that I want to leave today. And salute to each and every one of you. Salute to you also, man, for this opportunity, man. I truly
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
I was like, to who? I don't know.
Absolutely. Definitely make sure y'all check us out on Theta Pi Psi Fraternity Incorporated on Facebook and Instagram and our website. Check me out on Touch My Heart CPR on Instagram and Facebook and our website as well. So again, I appreciate this as well. I'm definitely going to give you a shout out on my page also, man, on both pages. So
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for folks to listen to this and to hear this and to watch it. I think my words of wisdom, sitting and learning so much. I think my words of wisdom will be: don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to think that they might be considered stupid questions. Listen to learn. Listen, not to respond, but to learn. And be fearless in who you are, and don't be afraid to be yourself. I think, if anything, this conversation is a reminder for folks to be yourself and don't be afraid to feel like you need to fit into any mold, or just be yourself and know that the love is there, and know that if you're listening, you're watching, we love you. And just to find your tribe, find your people. Don't be afraid to learn and to find your people. And when I say find your people, find your like-minded folks that you want to surround yourself with, that will be your support and be your love. This has been awesome.
absolutely.
We gonna have to drink when you don't have those letters on, but we go drink. This has been awesome, and this has been such a dope conversation. Listen to learn, listen to understand. Because if anything, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot today, and this has been really dope. For folks listening, if you're interested in joining the fraternity, they're now accepting applications until April 4th. And you don't have to be local. You don't have to be in Dallas, Texas. You don't have to be in Fort Worth. It is international submissions that are available, that are out there. So they are embracing everyone. You really don't have to be local. So again, you can be international and submit yourself. So is there like a process after they apply? Like, do they get like you've been what is the next step for folks?
After that, they'll represent once they send in an email or whatever they send in, a representative will contact them. And once they contact them, then they'll go to our national, they'll put in their application, do the requirements that is accepted for the application. And then we'll let them know we start the pledging process. So we're in communication with them at every point after that.
That's awesome.
So they will know. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dope. All right, cool. Y'all, you heard it. Make sure you sign up, be a part of it. It is a movement for sure. It is a stud fraternity, and the love and support is there. And I feel like studs don't get that they don't have that space. There's no space for studs to find that love and support from fellow like-minded folks, masculine centered. It's just you're expected to be tough and have this exterior and to not have feelings or this and that. And it's like, no, like I'm still a woman. I'm still, I still have feelings. And, so I think this is really a dope organization, dope incorporation, I should say, very dope fraternity. So if you're listening, make sure you sign up. Make sure you follow everything that they're doing. Follow DeShun. Follow the CPR. All of that will be in the show notes. Jam-Packed drops a new episode every Wednesday. I appreciate y'all for listening. Again, thank you so much for spending some Sunday fun day with me. This has been amazing. This has really been a lot of fun. We played some privacy. Woo, we've been sweating over some privacy and some fraternity. This has been a little bit of everything. But yeah, this has been so much fun. Check us out every Wednesday. Jam-Packed coming for you every Wednesday. Follow us at Jam-Packed Show on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/Jam-Packed, where you will find all the goodness, all the fun. This has been such a blast. I appreciate this. And we will see you on the next Jam-Packed.
Y'all better come my way. Y'all better come my way. Okay, and say, y'all better come my way. I'ma make a statement day by day. Peace out, up. Put them in the air, ain't gon' rise up. Peace out, up. Put them in the air, ain't gon' rise up.